Why Donald Trump was so mad at Mark Milley that he confessed to a crime. Hello viewers, welcome to Unbox. Please subscribe to stay updated with all latest news on Donald Trump. Donald Trump, once again, wants us not to believe our lying ears. This defense was modeled on October 7, 2016, when the Washington Post published a tape of Trump laughing obscenely as he described to Access Hollywood host Billy Bush his ability to do whatever he wants with women, grabbing them by the pussy. Because when you're a star, they let you do it. The gaslighting that followed that tape was leaked was a masterclass in Trump's ability to obfuscate, and brazen his way out of trouble with his big mouth, even if it meant denying that he meant what everyone else was heard saying. Now we're about to find out. If Trump's deniable approach, even if I say it, has any chance of success in a federal courtroom, he is charged with 37 felony counts of taking classified documents from the White House and obstructing government efforts to recover them. Trump's own words, which were caught on tape on July 21, are occupied 2021. About one of those documents, the Pentagon's alleged war plan for Iran, featured prominently in the indictment, given that Trump taped it at his golf club in Bedminster, New Jersey, claiming to have owned it and admitting he knew flaunting it was a mistake. CNN aired the audio talk about the gotcha tape. With rustling papers in the background, Trump was heard complaining about General Mark Milley, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He said, "I wanted to attack Iran. Isn't that amazing?" Trump told his visitors, including book advisors to his former chief of staff, Mark Meadows. A few days ago, I had reported on Milley's concerns in the final months of Trump's presidency that Trump could spark military conflict with Iran as part of his efforts to stay in power, despite losing the 2020 election. This was one of those nightmare scenarios, Milley told others, which he was working to prevent. In Bedminster, it seems, Trump waived the Pentagon attack plan, which Milley allegedly presented to him. "That totally wins my case," Trump said. "You know, except, it's top secret." He added, "Look, as president, I could have declassified it, now I can't, but it's classified. So cool." The tape ends with a line that was not included in the federal indictment. Trump asks, "Bring some Coke, please." In other words, the entire exchange was taking place, not in a top-secret facility, but with someone standing by, ready to fetch drinks, in Trump's office, near the pool at his country club. To legal observers, and indeed, pretty much everyone who would hear, the audio tape sounded like an admission of guilt. But this is Trump, a serial liar who offers a clear defense of himself, that he wasn't telling the truth to his visitors when he claimed he showed them classified papers. Sure enough, by Tuesday, Trump told reporters on his way back from his New Hampshire campaign appearance, "It was gutsy, if you want to know the truth," and here bravado is Trump's synonym for bullshit. This is the 2023 equivalent of dismissing the Access Hollywood tape as just locker room talk unrelated to Trump's actual behavior toward women. He even indicated that the papers he heard him shuffle were just building plans. For Trump, it is better to be a liar than a convict. The damning evidence against Trump would not have existed were it not for his feud with Mark Milley, a notable feud between the commander-in-chief and the nation's top general that served as a covert backdrop for the public drama that took place after the 2020 election. At the time the tape was filmed, in the summer of 2021, Trump was feeling stroked because Milley's fears for him become public. Two books published recently, one by reporters Carol Leonig and Phil Rucker of The Washington Post, and the other by Michael Bender, then of The Wall Street Journal, reported new details about Milley's efforts, including regular phone calls with Meadows, the White House chief of staff, to stop Trump from he drew the military into his quest to overturn the 2020 election. Even Milley worried that Trump and his supporters would orchestrate a Reichstag moment, a scare that looked chilling on January 6, 2021, when a violent mob of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol, seeking to block Congress ratification of defeat Trump. Trump, in turn, has publicly denounced Milley and said he only chose him as president in 2018 despite James Mattis, his soon-to-be outed defense secretary at the time. One thing the books don't reveal is Milley's concern throughout the volatile post-election period that Trump might escalate confrontation with Iran. I learned of this as part of my coverage of The Divider, a book about the Trump presidency I was working on with my husband, Peter Baker of The Times, and decided to publish the information next, as it related to new disclosures about the rift between Trump and Milley. The resulting July 15, 2021 article described frequent post-election meetings, during which Milley objected to possible strikes, which were pressed by a circle of Iran hawks around the president as well as by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Milley even flew to Israel for a meeting with him, at his home in Jerusalem, to urge him to back down. "If you do that, you're going to have a fucking war," Milley told Netanyahu. Iran was in fact the subject of Milley's last meeting with Trump, on January 3. 2021, when the chairman and other national security advisors were summoned to the Oval Office on Sunday afternoon to discuss the matter for the last time. At the end of the meeting, Trump lifted the upcoming January 6 rally of supporters for Milley and his acting defense secretary, Christopher Miller. "I heard Milley Trump say, it's going to be a big deal. You're ready for that, right?" Reporting of his falling out with Milley seems to have upset Trump a lot. In the summer of 2021, he had only been out for a few months and was in unhappy exile, spending most of his time at clubs in New Jersey and Florida. In interviews, he expresses his displeasure with the rigged elections and discusses many of his grievances. While working on The Divider, Peter and I sat through a couple of such shows, and he wasn't guided by our questions more than anything Trump wanted to talk about. Milley was still very much on his mind. During our second interview with Trump, in November of 2021, months after those initial stories were published, he told us the chairman was weak and stupid and made a lot of that stuff up after I got my job done. None of it was particularly helpful to us authors, but it was certainly revealing of Trump's mentality as the events that would lead to this unprecedented federal criminal case against a former president were taking shape. Listening to the tape means hearing Trump turn into his hot-headed, intimidating essence, an angry, vindictive man obsessed with his own negative press and seeking to weaponize classified information to strike an enemy. When ghostwriters appeared at the Meadows in Bedminster that day, the former chief saw an opportunity to plant his story about Milley. By the way, it worked. The book Meadows will eventually publish in November of 2021, The Chief's Chief. It included a detailed account of the meeting in Bedminster, with the sound of children giggling at the pool outside drifting into the room as Trump was in a track coat and a crisp white shirt. He recalled a 4-page report written by Mark Milley himself, who had allegedly contained the general's own plan to attack Iran. No one had done so much of an attack on Milley when Meadows' book came out. If anything, it underscores Trump's own ignorance of the Pentagon's role in dealing with his commander-in-chief. It is the job of the military, and that of its chief as the chief military advisor to the president, to formulate war plans for any number of scenarios. Presenting such a plan to Trump on Iran is not evidence of advocacy for its use. What Milley has been worrying about in the waning days of the Trump presidency is the specter of an eccentric leader, one smug with the secrets of the nation, reckless in his thinking about war and peace, consumed with himself and his efforts to survive. Power. All this is only confirmed by Trump's rants against him. "It totally wins my case," Trump said in the recorded interview that will now be used against him in court. But it seems already clear that the case proved was Milley's. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and make sure to press the bell icon to get notified when I upload a new video.